Welcome to the Jiu Jitsu podcast. My name is Stacy. I'm a Jiu Jitsu, and this is my podcast. Hello, and welcome back. I'm still here. Yes, the podcast still exists, and I'm still making new episodes. If this is your very first episode of Jiu Jitsu's podcast, you may not know what I'm talking about. I am recording this in early February 2026. The previous episode was published in July 2025. Since then, it has been a struggle to write and record episodes. There are a few reasons, but the main one was me dealing with health issues. And the next main one was everything happening in the United States. It was hard to be creative and talk about jiu-jitsu when the government was rapidly descending into fascism. Trying to talk about facing your fears and coming back from a hiatus felt really hollow when people are being rounded up en masse into concentration camps, being kidnapped from work and school, being disappeared off the streets, dragged out of their homes, and being gleefully murdered and executed in public in broad daylight. However, I realized that learning self-defense is more critical now than it ever has been. And as I've said many times before, jiu-jitsu is the best for self-defense. So if continuing this podcast and talking about the jiu-jitsu topics I had originally planned out will get more people to start jiu-jitsu or stay in it, then I need to talk about it. So, here is the episode I had planned. It is about facing your fears, or more specifically, how to overcome your insecurities and anxiety about trying something new. I hope this inspires you in some way to finally do the thing you've been wanting to do. Here is the episode. It is commonly said that the hardest part of starting jiu-jitsu is walking through the door for the first time. Most, if not all, people who start jiu-jitsu have felt intimidated and or anxious about doing a martial art like ours, especially if they are unfamiliar with martial arts in general. But how can you overcome this fear and anxiety to finally get started? Let's discuss some reasons why people might feel anxious or intimidated to even start, and different ways they can overcome that fear. Jiu-jitsu is amazing and has so many benefits to it. See seasons 1 and 2 for more in-depth discussions about this. However, it is also something that intimidates people, especially women, and that intimidation can prevent a lot of people from even trying. So, what are people afraid of? What are some common fears? People tend to think that they are not good enough, not athletic enough, too old, that it's too late to start, that they will look silly, that people will make fun of them, that people will intimidate them, that people will make them feel stupid, that people will be aggressive, that they will get injured, that they won't learn it fast enough, that it's too expensive, that they can't be consistent, that they're just wasting time and money, or that they'll just forget everything anyway. I'm sure that you can come up with even more reasons to talk yourself out of trying. Now the question is, how do you overcome these insecurities long enough to get started? Here are some different suggestions for ways you can do that. Number 1, go with a friend. There's strength in numbers. Also, having a familiar person on your side can help you feel more confident. Number 2, ask to see or participate in an introductory lesson to see what it's like. Sometimes the fear of the unknown is greater than any worries that you may have about yourself or your abilities. Number 3, ask to be introduced to the instructors so that you can meet them and ask questions. Sometimes knowing who you will be dealing with can help make you feel safe and relaxed. Number 4, acknowledge the things you are afraid of. Write them down, say them out loud, and let them go. Admit what you're feeling, but don't let it hold you back from doing the things that you want. Number 5, counter the negative what ifs with positive ones. For example, instead of worrying, what if it goes wrong? Ask yourself, but what if it all goes right? Instead of, what if I mess up? Ask yourself, what if I have fun? Instead of, what if everyone is mean and snubs me? Ask yourself, what if everyone is nice, welcoming, and helpful? If you look for the positive things, you are more likely to find them. Number 6, read about people in your stage of life who started new things and thrived. Sometimes it's hard to convince ourselves that we can do something new. You may have heard phrases like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, or I'm set in my ways. These phrases, honestly, reflect a fixed mindset, and it'll keep you stagnant. As long as you are still breathing, you can still learn something new and try new things. And representation matters. Find people who are your age or even older who started a new activity and made progress. Number 7, if you're still incredibly nervous or hesitating, do some research first. Look into the schools around you. See what the Google reviews say. Check to see if the Better Business Bureau has any complaints about them. Ask around. What do current students say about it? Is there a program for women and or children? Do people usually stay at the school after they enroll? Finding the answers to those kinds of questions will help you to feel more confident. Number 8, talk to a therapist or another trusted person. Sometimes you can't, quote unquote, hack your way out of your feelings. Sometimes you just need to say them out loud, acknowledge them, and get them out. Number 9, listen to seasons 1 and 2 of this podcast. Season 1's theme is getting started. In season 1, I discuss all sorts of things that beginners need to know to help ease their transition into Jiu Jitsu. Season 2's theme is share your story. In season 2, you hear many different ladies describe their Jiu Jitsu journeys. Let these ladies be your inspiration. Almost all of them mentioned being nervous to get started, but once they did start, they were so happy that they did. Number 10, get involved with or join a group of women who are just starting Jiu Jitsu as well. Having new friends who are in the same boat as you can be very comforting. Then you'll know that you aren't doing it alone. You'll have other people who will understand exactly what you're going through as you're going through it. Staying in your comfort zone is comfortable, but it's also limiting. Life is precious and short. If there is something you really want to do, go ahead and do it. When will you have another chance? I started Jiu Jitsu shortly before I turned 29. And sometimes I feel very down or upset about the quote unquote lost time that I could have been doing Jiu Jitsu. However, when I start to feel that way, I remind myself of this Chinese proverb that I heard years ago that really resonated with me. It goes, "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now." I'd like to leave you with a quote by Mark Twain. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So, throw off the bow lines, sail away from safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. Okay, everyone. I hope this resonated with you in some way and gave you some encouragement to start jiu-jitsu and learn self-defense. In these current times, having a strong community is essential to survival. We are building a global community of jiu-jiteras who encourage and support each other. And I am always here to help answer questions, give advice, or just be a listening ear. Here's where you can find us. I can be found on Instagram at Jiu-Jitera and Jiu-Jitera's podcast. You can email me at jujiteraspodcast@gmail.com. Other places you could find me are the Jiu-Jitera's podcast Facebook page, my TikTok page at Jiu-Jitera's podcast, although I use the TikTok to make videos about my life in the world I live in, so it's not only about jiu-jitsu. There's also the Jiu-Jitera's podcast YouTube channel, the Jiu-Jitera's podcast Patreon page, and the Jiu-Jitera's podcast Discord server. If any other Jiu-Jiteras would like to share your social media handles, please let me know. I will organize a list of where we can find each other so that we can continue to build and strengthen our community. So, this is it for this episode. Everyone, please stay vigilant. If you see something, say something. Protect others, especially those who cannot protect themselves. Fight injustice. Stand together. Stay safe and be well. I'll see you next time.